Hello and welcome to Midtone Reviews. Today I'm going to be going over the worst and best albums for Death Grips. I know I'm taking this idea from the melon himself, Anthony Fantano, but it's a good idea, it's a good structure, and yeah, I haven't really seen any of these titling all the different Death Grips albums. So yeah, I'm just going to explain a few of the things I'm going to do. I am going to include Exmilatry in this, and also Fashion Week. I'm also going to split up the two Powers That Be albums into the two different discs that are actually on there, because they're quite different projects, it seems. So the first one is Fashion Week. I know it's not really a proper album, it's more of an instrumental album, but I definitely think it's one of the weakest ones, mainly because it is missing MC Ride. I know that the whole entire point of it is sampling some of the other stuff. It's really good. It's sampling some of the other things from the Death Grips discography, but it just doesn't really go much further than that. That's really it. I think it was mostly there to say, oh yeah, we're back, sort of thing, after the whole entire thing of, oh yeah, we broke up, sort of thing. But yeah, it's not a terrible album, but it is at the bottom of this list. So the next one is Government Plates. It's an alright album, it's pretty decent, they have some really good tracks. The intro track is amazing, but most of the album is quite fillery, it's quite like spaced out and that, but I think that they've done a lot of the stuff which they were hoping to do in later years on Year of the Snitch and stuff like that. It's not an amazing album. MC Ride is nowhere near as aggressive as he could be. And yeah, it's just a bit lacking compared to some of the other albums. It's not a terrible album, I do like the album, but it's just compared to some of the other Death Grips albums, it's not, doesn't have as much energy, it doesn't have as much passion. I know it's more instrumental based, but they can still do the energy and the passion with it being instrumental based. So the next one I'm going to choose is N-Word on the Moon. I know I'm going to say N-Word instead of the actual words, but I don't really want to get into trouble or anything for saying it. And yeah, it's an alright album, it's pretty good. It's a good opener for the Powers That Be. And it's very minimalistic because there's not really much going on with the instrumentals. They've got like 3 to 4 tracks of instrumentals, like 3 to 4 layers. It's not much, but it's really good. There's some really good stuff on there, such as Black Quarterback and Say Hey Kids, and it's really good. And yeah, it just doesn't place as well as some of the other ones. It could be a little bit more layered. I do like how it's been going on and that. So yeah. So the next one is No Love, Deep Web. It's definitely one of their more aggressive and passionate albums that they've done, and it's really dark. Some of the stuff that goes on about, and some of the instrumentals and some of the drumming is really good and really strong. It's very sort of like quite all over the place in some ways, but it's more like in a purposely chaotic way. I do enjoy this album, and there are some really good songs such as No Love and The Hunger Games. It's a really good album, but I just don't think I listen to it as much as some of the other albums. I see this one a lot less often coming up onto my like sort of listening playlist sort of thing. That's why it's down here. The next one is Bottomless Pit. It's probably the sort of more mainstream sort of stuff. Not as mainstream as The Money Store, but it's still sort of got a lot of guitars and that. It's especially sort of brought on from Jenny Death. It's a really nice album, it's really sort of a strong album, and there's some really good drumming on there. I think it's definitely one of the best drumming sort of ones for Zach Hill, and yeah, this is why it's in 5th place. The next one is Year of the Snitch. It's definitely one of the more creepy, more underground, underlayered sort of albums, and it's definitely a lot more instrumental. They definitely improved since Government Plates, and they do use MC Ride in some sort of ways as an instrument and part, instead of sort of just being this really loud voice, but it still works really well. And there are some really nice tracks on there such as Flies, Black Paint, Ha Ha Ha. They're really strong tracks on there. Next one I got is Jenny Death. definitely their most rock orientated album. It sounds sort of very punky, very metal, and yeah, it's definitely good mixing MC Ride's vocals with it, because it just sounds really aggressive and really and yeah, they probably got one of my favourite songs on there, On GP, which has a really nice flow to it, and it definitely goes sort of low into it a little bit at times, which is really strange, but I love it as well. And some of the lower parts of it are sort of a bit like some Radiohead instrumentals, but yeah, this is definitely one of their more rock orientated albums, and I really enjoy it. So I know this one isn't actually an album, it's a mixtape, but I'm going to include it anyway because of its length, which is Exmilatry. It's just so punk and so raw. It's so out there for first album, first mixtape, and it's just really punkish. It has this really nice vibe to it, and I just really dig the vibe. It's definitely taken a lot of influence off of other sort of industrial rap at the time, and yeah, it's a very strong album, even though it's not an album, but it might as well be an album. So of course the final one is The Money Store. It's just such an influential and just an absolutely amazing album. It is a 10 out of 10 for me, and it's just so influential on some other people. You wouldn't have Kendrick Lamar to Pimp a Butterflies, you wouldn't have the modern Kanye West stuff, you wouldn't have Brockhampton, you wouldn't have Tyler the Creator if it wasn't because of this album. It's just such a masterpiece, I think, in my opinion. Probably one of the best albums in this decade so far. And it's just so strong. There's some really good tracks, like I've Seen Footage, The Hacker, and Get Got. And they're so really strong, it's still really passionate. You still get the Death Grips vibe, there's still this sort of punky vibe, even though it is more mainstream. It's definitely a lot more hip-hoppy, which I really like about this album. And yeah, it's just strong song after strong song after strong song. And some of the instruments, they still sample different bits and pieces, and it's really nice to see how the samples go. And yeah, this is just my favourite Death Grips album, and probably one of my top albums of all times. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this. I know it's quite a long video, and I know I could have done an actual album review. I was going to do Logic's new album, but it just didn't interest me at all to really review. I think a lot of other people have already said stuff online, and I just don't think adding in to it isn't really much use, because I probably would have just repeated what they were saying. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you do like Death Grips, and I definitely recommend listening to any of the discography, because it's all good. Even like the lower stuff, such as Government Plates and Fashion Week, they're still pretty strong albums, but I'll definitely sort of recommend more the Exmilatries, the Jenny Deaths, the Money Store sort of stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in 2 days' time.